Welcome to Fast Five, where our three panelists talk about 5 topics for 7 short minutes. First up, it's the can for Roseanne. Her show was canceled based on some what were considered racist remarks, and I, by the way, would personally agree with that thought process, about former President Obama's
Valerie
Jarrett, yeah. What was she? She was a number of things.
She was an aide.
Yeah, she was an aide, but she had a number of high-level positions in the Obama administration. Ron, is this the right thing to do?
I think it's a right message. I don't think that they could afford not to do something and wait for a couple of days till the sponsors begin to withdraw money or businesses begin to withdraw money. What she's done and what she's done continually through her history has been questionable at best. And to watch what she did singing the Star Spangled Banner a couple of years ago, and what she did and the motions and mockery that she played in singing the Star Spangled Banner, and the motions that she used, hand gestures with her own body, was one of the worst things I've ever seen in my entire life. And to have someone that's defended by certain people in the country, I see as reprehensible. And to see her gone, somebody will pick the show up and rename it, and she won't be in it.
So I'm a card-carrying member of the Republican Party, although not necessarily a proud one all the time. You seem like a conservative guy. She's a conservative woman. What do you think about this whole situation?
It's always interesting when the shoe is put on the other foot because it exposes the hypocrites. You can't be for the NFL banning players kneeling during the anthem and then against Roseanne getting her show canned, or vice versa. Because what this is these are two companies that are making the best decision for them business-wise. They don't want to be associated with some sort of speech. So you have the people obviously celebrating that Roseanne's gone, and then they get all upset when the NFL does what it is its prerogative. And then on the other side, you have the people that are trying to defend Roseanne that 2 weeks ago were all up in arms about anthem kneeling. It's hypocritical.
The difference between the anthem kneeling, it doesn't go to the anthem kneeling and what the NFL does. It did to the disrespect that Roseanne Barr did to the national anthem by singing it, and what she did with her body. That was it. Had nothing to do with Goodell.
No, I agree.
Okay,
I agree with that, but I think what he's talking about is the Valerie Jarrett comment.
Yeah. I'm not making an equivalency between anything that Roseanne did and the anthem kneeling. I think what she did is far worse. Yeah. But it's interesting the people saying, "Oh, this company can't do this, but this one has to do this," when they both have that right.
All right, moving on. David Copperfield did one of his famous tricks. The trick involves somebody going downstairs and reappearing on stage. The volunteer got hurt in the process, albeit...
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. Sued David Copperfield. David Copperfield is guilty, but not liable. I found that to be a very interesting court decision. We talk about the pendulum, right? That we go over here and then we go over here. Ron, is the pendulum swinging back?
I think you're going to find the pendulum swinging a lot of times here in the future. There's so many things that's happened that it's about time it does turn around. Some of the things that we've talked about, some of the things we read about, I think you're going to see something before too long, because there's so much outlandish things said that both sides need to check their guns at the door, so to speak.
And we need to stop legislating from the bench on both sides, in my opinion.
Well, let's not legislate from the bench. I think the bench should be responsible for the Constitution, for making sure, interpreting the Constitution,
right.
But how the two different people interpret it two totally different ways.
It's all in the way you read it. Okay, do you have anything to say on that one?
That's just basic risks associated with going to an event like that. I had to sign a release form yesterday, actually, because I'll be working in a minor league baseball ballpark later this summer, basically saying if I get hit in the head with a ball or a bat, I can't sue them. which
What?
that's just
And you're right behind home plate?
no, I'll be in the press box, but they still need to cover themselves legally the same way that it's just
If you were
basically
behind the plate.
associated with
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Okay. There is an active shooter game, and this active shooter game takes place apparently in a school, and you can either be the guys that are coming in to shoot the bad guys, or you can be the bad guys that are coming in to shoot up the school. It was removed from a digital storefront and essentially pulled from distribution.
Yeah,
What are your thoughts on this?
This kind of game's obviously a bad look, especially with a lot of people coming out against the video game industry and blaming it for school shootings, which is a terrible argument. And on the face of it, ridiculous, but it looks like the person who made this game was actually a troll that had previously been banned from this storefront, so I wouldn't put too much weight into this.
Okay, Ron?
I agree with what Tyler said. Totally agree. But I do think Xbox is going way too far on some of the Call of Duty and some of the games that they've played. It's the game's killing people. How many people can I kill?
I used to play Call of Duty 2 hours a night every night. I have not shot up a school yet.
But you said
and
yes.
we hope we continue.
That will continue.
Yeah, all right. So, all right. A Tesla autopiloted vehicle crashes, guess where? Into a police car. You talk about your bad days. Who gets the handcuffs put on that one?
Absolutely no idea. That's an interesting situation. Obviously, the responsibility would probably lie with the driver, but this is why I don't want an Alexa, an autopilot car, anything like that. All this AI is just quite frankly creepy.
Yeah. Ron?
I didn't realize that you could now use your car like you do in an airplane when you're flying and you're 32,000 feet and decide to put it on automatic pilot. I didn't know you can take your car and be going down the street and put it on automatic pilot and sit there and read a book or do some homework before you get to your next meeting. I can see you doing that now.
Clearly you can't do that or you bash into the cop car.
Right.
So
not a good idea.
all right. How about our What the Flip Side WTF segment? A woman is sued for a Yelp review. Tyler, what's the story on this one?
Yeah, well, there's a woman. She had some sort of debate with her gynecologist, the doctor. It seemed like it was over services that she thought she didn't need, but the doctor said that were given to her. It's that sort of thing, and so she put a negative review out on Yelp that the doctor feels is false and defamatory. Now there's a lawsuit pending.
For $1 million.
For $1 million. And this is the kind of thing that happens very regularly. And you'll see companies, they will start lawsuits against anonymous Yelp usernames just to get the actual identity of the person in discovery in that sort of case. And it's why you have to be careful when you're publishing something online or whatever, that what you're saying is factual, because that can come around to get you. And these companies like Yelp are extremely powerful. We're seeing in Russia now, with the World Cup coming this summer, there's an industry now for fake positive reviews for the out-of-towners that would be coming for the World Cup to get them into certain stores.
When you buy something, do you read the reviews? Or when you go someplace, do you read the reviews?
Yeah, I mean, if say I'm looking for a new doctor or something, the first place I'm gonna go is Google, and if I see something, pop up on the Google results, whether it's Yelp, TripAdvisor, whether it's a doctor, restaurant, whatever, and I see it's negative, I'll discount that and look for some place that people have liked.
So what if the doctor or the business doesn't use that method and just you can't find anything? Which is worse?
Well, sometimes that gets put on against the will of the doctor, because you can, have...
You can Yelp review somebody who doesn't want to be Yelp reviewed.
Yes, exactly.
So it's not up to the business.
It's not up to the business.
Nope.
So you can just go out and do it on your
I
own.
can go out and say, Ron Bauer's restaurant really stinks. And there's basically nothing you can do about it unless you want to sue me. Ron, well, I think that's all the time we have on that one. Coming up next, thumbs up, thumbs down. Stay tuned.